Hi everyone, today I wanted to talk about my adventure into film photography. About a month ago I ordered a Canon AE-1 off of eBay, and I got very lucky with this camera. The unit itself had no scratches. It came with a Canon 50mm 1.4 lens, the new variant, and there was nothing wrong with it other than the light seals were perished from age. I was especially lucky that there was no battery damage either. So I started off by removing all of the old light seals, and the only thing that you really have to keep in mind with removing light seals is to make sure that you clean all of the old residue off using some sort of solvent like alcohol, or I didn't try acetone, that might be too aggressive, but acetone might work as well. So I got a Canon AE-1 because they're relatively inexpensive for the FD line of Canon cameras, and they made so many of them that they're easy to find. It also allows me to have full control of both the shutter and aperture of the camera. One tip, if you are having trouble cleaning out the light channels on the back, use a piece of lens paper or paper towel soaked in alcohol to remove it. Another common thing that can happen in these cameras is mirror squeak. My camera didn't have it, but just for general maintenance, you can remove the front face and the top left screw and add a little bit of oil. Better way to do this is if you have like a thin oiler, but I didn't, so I just kind of flooded it with a couple of drops of oil, not too much. Once I finished replacing the light seals, I started using the camera around town, and here are the results from that. Black Island does this project called the Glass Float Project, in which 550 clear orbs and 20 colored orbs are hidden throughout the island at different times of the year. They are hidden in greenways, on beaches, and other public spaces, but they'll never be hidden on sand dunes or on private property or in a place that would require dismantling of stone walls. So I decided to go to Black Island for two reasons. One, to try and take some interesting photos, and two, to try and find one of these glass orbs. So the camera at this point is essentially untested. I wasn't sure how well the light meter was going to work, or if I did a good enough job on the light seals that I wasn't going to have light leaks. I also don't have that much experience with film, only using it very briefly in my youth. Using the camera was also very good. It's extremely responsive, easy to focus, feels good to use, and I think the photos came out pretty good. I only took a day trip to Block Island, which means I only had a couple of hours to search for one of the floats, and unfortunately I was unsuccessful in finding one. Let's talk about image quality. My main camera is a Sony a7R Mark IV, which is a 60 megapixel camera. I have that paired with a 24-70 f2.8 lens. The image on the left is the Sony, while the image on the right is a scanned image from a Plustech 1200i AI film scanner. One thing that you'll notice is that the Sony camera has better resolution. You're able to make out both the lightning rod on the chimney as well as the detail in the railings of the lighthouse. However, I'm really surprised at how well the film camera holds up, and it just goes to show you that if you are doing good scans and have proper exposure, the film camera holds up really well. The only time that I really see that the film camera struggles in comparison to the Sony is in lower lighting situations in which the grain becomes more pronounced, which kind of adds to the film charm. One thing though is that if you're going to do film photography, make sure that you have a good film scanner. The left is now the scan that I received from the photo lab, which is low resolution, and you lose even more detail, and if you want to do any type of prints, isn't sufficient for that type of work. As a conclusion, I'm really enjoying myself using the film camera. I even got some upgrades for it. One was a new strap because the old one was deteriorating, and two was a f1.2 50mm lens. And while I haven't developed film from that lens yet, I'm really excited to see how well it comes out.